And on its website, the airline is urging customers not to head to the airport. A separate page dedicated to its restructuring is also posting guidance for travelers. We would like to bring in our insider itinerary expert, Seth Kaplan. He joins us live this morning to explain more. Good morning, Seth. Thank you so much for waking up with us. A lot of people waking up to this news this morning. Now, we just heard most travelers will get those refunds. Well, what happens to any Spirit frequent flyer miles that a frequent flyer might have?
Yeah, less happy news about that. And these could be miles, for example, that you got with one of these credit cards, a dollar for every mile you spend on most things, or miles that you get, of course, from flying the airline. In fact, I had about 6,000 or 7,000 Spirit miles yesterday when this was all becoming clear that this was likely to happen. I said, let me figure out if I could do something with them, because you can also usually redeem miles for something else. And I jumped on and they had already suspended that. So kind of another indication of what was to come this morning. So those miles are no good. But again, if you spent your own money on a Spirit ticket, you will in all likelihood get it back.
Now, Seth, I do see Frontier Airlines announcing rescue fares. Now, what are those, and should people trust that?
I mean, it's partly a PR stunt. They want people to know about this all-you-can-fly pass, which already existed, but they're discounting a little bit, $199. And there's fine print that you have to read. Basically, it's if there's an empty seat on flights on certain days, you can take that seat. Frontier, like Spirit did, charges extra for almost everything. So how good of a deal it is kind of depends on who you are. But if you can pack light and if you're flexible, it can be a good deal. Other airlines, too, by the way, announcing their own forms of trying to help Spirit passengers. American Airlines, for example, saying that on directly competitive nonstop routes, it has capped the fares, so it's not going to charge you thousands of dollars, let's say, if you have to walk up to the counter today and try to get home.
So I guess that answers my next question, which is, should people have any worries about any other airlines?
Actually, it's kind of the opposite. Very unfortunate, obviously, for Spirit. I mean, first and foremost, for its employees and everybody who really relied on the airline for a living. The customers will get to where they're going eventually. But there was probably one too many airlines in the industry. That was the point. That's why they couldn't survive. The fares were just a little bit too low to cover, well, these very high jet fuel prices now, especially because of the Iran war. But this was an airline that had already filed for bankruptcy twice. And if anything, their demise will help some of their competitors, especially an airline like JetBlue, which once tried to buy Spirit. They compete in a lot of markets, and Spirit not being there, now JetBlue is going to get more of that business. And so tough marketplace. But if anything, when one airline goes away, it means the others are all a little bit stronger.
Understood. Well, thank you, Seth. And my last question for you is, Spirit was once a very successful airline. I mean, as you mentioned, those lower fares. So what happened?
Well, the other airlines kind of figured out how to compete against that, right? There was a time when, they're charging $39 fares, and airlines like Delta, American, United, Southwest even, just kind of didn't know what to do about that. And those airlines have gotten better about competing against that. So if you are especially a Delta or a United making a lot of money now, they have kind of the best of all worlds. They make good money in the front of the cabin, first class seats and all the rest of it in ways that Spirit couldn't. But that last seat in the back of the airplane, they'll take your business for $39 or $49 too, and also offer you things that Spirit couldn't offer you. So they got wise to the game, and Spirit just couldn't adapt.
Understood. Well, thank you so much for your expertise, Seth. I really appreciate you waking up with us this morning, and I'm sure you will be offering your expertise all day long. So stay with ABC 27 on this developing story. Thank you again, Seth, for joining us, reporting live in Harrisburg this morning.
Hi, I'm Eric Finkenbinder from ABC 27. We're excited to announce the new ABC 27 News Plus app. Live stream newscasts or watch content on demand. This is different than the ABC 27 app on your smartphone. You can check this out at home, and it's very easy to use. With a Fire Stick, go to the home page, scroll down to search. From there, enter ABC 27. Move over to the apps, and there we are. Click the icon and install. It's just that easy.